Welcome to Bedtime Stories. The Dandelion. It was a little boy who first discovered the fairy's owl's dandelion secret, but many people didn't believe the story he told. He was 8 years old and a curious fellow, and usually was in one kind of mischief. Sometimes, without thinking, he would stick his finger in the pudding and drip it all over the floor, and sometimes he would spill his marbles on the staircase, and the cats went slipping and sliding as they tried to clamber up the stairs. The little boy's mischief was kind of rollicking mischief that makes people laugh, and so none of the grown-ups believed the lad he actually sneaked out to the meadow in the middle of the night and learned about the fairy's hours and the dandelion's secret. One night, well past midnight, when he should have been asleep, he lay wide awake in his bed. He cradled his favorite toy, his soft, black and white teddy, and the 3 ginger cats lay fast asleep at his feet. Through the window above his bed, he could see the full moon shining brightly and could feel the warm spring wind blowing off the meadows that surrounded his family's house. He could smell the scent of flowers drifting into his room. Everything seemed peaceful and fine. The only trouble was, the boy could not fall asleep, and he didn't know why. Then he realized that he was hearing some sounds that came from the nearby meadows. At first he heard only a soft rustling in the tall meadow grass, but he sat up when he distinctly heard laughing voices, like tinkling glass, coming from those meadows. Before long he heard a trilling flute, and then a piccolo, and a moment later, when a throb came from what sounded like a kettledrum, even the 3 ginger cats woke from their deep sleep. "What's that?" he said out loud. The cats yawned and cocked their heads and scrambled to the window to listen. "Do you hear music?" he asked the cats. He was certain, absolutely certain, that the cats nodded their heads. He tiptoed down the stairs, careful not to wake his sisters or brothers, his mother or father. He lifted his legs high, stepping over the floor, and reached the front door. He tapped his collie's head and whispered, "Wake up, wake up." The dog jumped up without a sound, for he loved the mischief the boy played. All together, the boy and the dog and the 3 ginger cats ran out toward the meadow. You can imagine their amazement when they saw that the meadow, usually filled with wildflowers and dandelions, was now filled with dancing fairies, and off in one corner of the garden, he could see the fairy band playing their flutes and piccolos in one big kettledrum. They all sat and stared while the fairies went on dancing beneath the light of the moon. The boy and the animals did not make a sound, for they all knew well that fairies do not like to be seen. Suddenly a leprechaun leapt out from behind a lilac bush. When the boy was about to take a picture of the fairies, he ducked, and so did the 4 animals, but the leprechaun began frantically running from one dandelion to the next, blowing hard on each of them, sending fluffy white pappus down everywhere. The moment the fairies saw the white pappus down drifting among the flowers, they scurried as fast as they could out of the meadow, and within a few moments they had disappeared. "Don't leave," the boy cried, and the dog barked, and all 3 cats meowed. "We won't hurt you," he called, but the leprechaun put his finger to his mouth. "Quiet, lad," he said softly. "Don't you know that fairies lose their power when people see them? That's why whenever people come, I blow the dandelion's pappus to warn and alert them." "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to hurt them," the boy said, for though he often caused mischief, but he never meant to harm anyone. The leprechaun could see that the boy had a kind heart, and that is why he decided to tell him their secret. "You see," the leprechaun pointed to the dandelion's white pappus seeds on the ground, "when the fairies blow the seeds, they know it's their happy hour, and when they see the pappus down on the ground, flying around, they know they must rush home." Now, the next morning the boy told everyone he met about the fairies' hours and the dandelion's secret and also the leprechaun's warning about fairies, but many people did not believe him. Some people did, though. The children and the animals believed his tale, and that is why, even today, some children count the breaths it takes to blow away all the papists down on a dandelion. And this is how they tell the hour. If you like the story, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you for listening. Good night.